Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is Harpio and this is MPL5 discussion video. I originally did a video with Chaitanya, Kaiser and Brisked, but unfortunately I don't know what happened, but I didn't get the video after recording from the video recorder I use. So that was a pretty good video of around 50 to 40 minutes I believe, and unfortunately I wasn't able to render that. And thanks to courtesy of Brisked, he agreed again to do a discussion video with me, but this time it's just Brisked and I. And Brisked is someone who is new to the whole competitive scene for Monotype, but he has good amount of knowledge of the community. He knows players from side servers as well as players who dominantly play on Pokemon Showdown. So Brisked is here. Hello Brisked.
Hello, Harp. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having me on the channel again. Yeah.
Yes, and thank you for joining me again for discussion video. And we'll talk about MPL 5 and how it is going, which players we think should do well, and just some general talk on teams. Week 1 has already started and there have been few matches. On weekend, as usual, majority of the people will play. So yeah, we will also go over the types which people have been using for SM, different types and certain builds which we see. We can certainly micro analyze some of that. So Brisked, congratulations on being drafted for your first MPL 5. I hope you get to play and you do well.
Yeah, I actually play tomorrow.
You're playing tomorrow. What time?
Yeah, I play clearly tomorrow at 9 p.m. my time, which is I don't know to you, but
it's somewhere Sunday. It's Sunday for me.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, I'll get to see the game since people will post replays. So.
Yeah. Let's see. I play in like 22 hours.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like my first MPL game. There's a part of me that, like obviously I want to perform well. I feel like I've put a lot of time and a lot of effort into this game, and it's like now I'm finally here on the big scene, and I just don't want it all to go to waste, kind of thing.
It reminds me of MPL 4 where I was playing my first MPL match versus double switches, and I was kind of nervous. Of course, every player will be nervous playing their first MPL match.
Yeah.
But
I told myself, like, I think once I get like my first game or two like under my belt, I think some of those like beginner's nerves kind of thing will wear off. Because like at the end of the day, it's just playing another game of Pokemon. Like I've played how many games of Pokemon, or games of Monotype at least in SM. It has to be somewhere within like the 10,000. So it's just another one of those games where it's just a repetition, but just that in the bigger scene.
Yeah, I understand. A lot more competitive with a lot more pressure. So what are your overall thoughts on the draft, and we will also go over the power rankings which Cave did.
Okay. My overall thoughts on the draft, I thought that the beginning of the draft was a little surprising. There were some players that went high, that went for high prices that I personally thought were a little too much. I also thought some people were nominated a little too early. But after the beginning of the draft, I think everything else kind of went okay.
Yeah. Majority of the teams got the players they wanted. However, I think I was on with Maroon. I think Maroon should have bid more early on.
Yeah. I agree with that.
That's the only thing I am little concerned about, but it's not the point now since week has started. Like we could have gotten some more good players. We have good players, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I think like when I'm looking at your guys' team, or
Mm.
let's just like even say your starters right now, like I feel like you have like you guys are good, but like I feel like you're missing that little extra firepower, and that's what you're kind of saying. Like you probably should have been more aggressive earlier on in the draft.
Yeah, I understand.
Like Maroon was like he was like stopping people at like he was stopping at 18, and he probably should have stopped at like 22 or something like that.
Hmm. It's fine though now. Like nothing can be done. So we'll roll with whatever. But I think the team will do well in coming weeks as well, because many people talked about team environment and lack of activity between the team, since the team has some players that show no motivation when it comes to team tours, but they have been doing fine till now as far as activity and motivation are concerned. So that's good.
Yeah. I feel like week one's like the tough week,
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's the week where like everyone, starts to get going kind of thing.
Every week, every team wants to start, hard and good.
Yeah. But I feel like, like obviously you put in your best lineup week one, but activity is sometimes an issue week one. And like, I feel like it throughout the weeks, the activity piece becomes more active.
Yes. And we'll go over Goldenrod Gengars, which is ranked at 1 by Kevin ELF. I think the combination of Chaitanya and WhatsApp is the only thing, majority feature of this team that makes it number 1 in MPL5. What do you think?
The core of Chaitanya's app it's like probably one of the best cores.
Yeah.
Like I think it's the best Sun and Moon core, but it kind of lacking in older gen.
Certainly. Yeah. But I
Like
think they can, overcome it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The team's gonna be highly dependent on how they perform in Sun and Moon. Like for them, I feel like if they're gonna need to go far, if they're gonna need to make playoffs, and if they're gonna need to go far in playoffs, they're gonna have to probably go like 3 and 4. I don't know. They can't really rely on older gens as much as they do in SM.
Yeah, this is evident by the fact that Ridley won versus Arkansas. But they also had Finchinator who won against Oshiri. So we'll have to see how the black and white and best of 3 games go to really say. But it is Roses versus Faitan's team. People have been talking that Faitan is a good player, but let's see.
Phaeton is good. I think Kevin said it the best. He's like I'm reading off what he said in his power rankings right now. Phaeton is the most underrated player in Monotype. If he was more active, I see him having the same up as Chaitanya. He lacks experience in old gen, but I think he's still good.
He lacks experience in older gens, but I think the team support from Chaitanya, WhatsApp, and others will be able to help him out. I also believe this is the best team by far, Goldenrod Gengars.
I probably agree. It's either them or Haunch Crows.
Haunch Crows.
But
why
you
is
never know. The clearly curse.
Yeah, the clear leakers. I know what it is now, but
Yeah.
the reason why I think Goldenrod Gengars should be at number one, it is at number one on power ranking, but it'll be number one in coming weeks as well. Why I think is because of the good SM support they have, which the Honchcrows currently lack. Clearly is a
Yeah.
very good player and builder, but as everyone knows, he has been lacking in terms of activity. Correct, and so I think that will be a case for Honchcrows.
Yeah. I don't want to jump ahead to Entrepreneurs too far yet because I don't want to skip over anything with the Gengars. But like I agree with your point. Like Entrepreneurs, like
Yeah.
they're a little lacking in SM, but they do have good team building support and like him. Sabella, yeah.
They also have Oberon. Oberon used to play Oras. I don't know if you know him. He goes by the username the Viper, Oberon the Viper, and he used to use
He's
a lot
also
of. Yeah.
he's little finesse on
Yeah.
PS. I just figured that out like a few days ago, actually.
So Oberon plays SM and he has been doing good so far in the recent tournaments, but MPL is a big stage, so we'll have to see how he performs. Do I
He's
think?
also playing.
Yeah, he's
Zugu
also playing.
Week 1. He's playing Zugu Week 1, and Zugu's like a really good tour player.
Yeah, SM Zubu.
Yeah. Like, I'm not trying to be biased because Zugu is my teammate. But if I was a spectator, I'd pick Zugu over and
Yeah, same. If you see from a neutral point of view, I'll certainly go with Zubu here. He just seems to be more experienced. So it's close between team 1 and 2, but I think Goldenrod Gengars has that small edge against Honchcrows.
I think, like, yeah, I'd probably agree with you. Like, their SM core is obviously, like, much better than Honchcrows, but Honchcrows has, like, a way better older drums.
Yeah, 1-2 Lycan, Sabila, and Star.
Yeah.
Jace the World, who used to play a lot of Oras.
Yeah. I feel like if, let's say, in theory, in the finals, it was Honchcrows versus Gengars, I feel like
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I got a phone call, but I'm back now.
All right, no problem.
I feel like Gengars would take 3 of 4 in SM, and then they'd have to get 1 or 2 in an older gen or BO3. But I think it's definitely doable with again the core of Zapchite. Peachy Cloud's also very good. Faden's very good.
Yeah.
Chaitanya and Finch, I think, have a very solid relationship from Monotype World Cup.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's also one thing which I wanted to bring up. They have good team chemistry. Like majority of the players they have on the team are good friends with each other. So
yeah,
so that certainly works in their favor.
I think that's very important. Yeah, like if you can't get along with your teammates, it's gonna be a long season.
Yeah.
Like I can kind of like notice it in my my Discord a little bit. There are some people that aren't as active. There are some people that I can't really like relate to as much. Even though like I feel like I'm being open, I just feel like other people are.
I understand. Closed, reserved types.
Yeah.
So it's important.
Like I'm not trying to.
Yeah, you're not trying to.
I'm not trying to like throw my team under the bus by any means either. And like it's also week one, you know. I feel like we still have to get used to each other a little bit.
Mm.
Also, Vid is playing right now.
We're displaying right now. Oh,
Yeah, he just. Do you wanna
yeah, sure.
watch? Yeah, let's watch this.
So we are watching it here. Star versus Vid. So let's talk over this. Star has the advantage here with Curran.
Yeah, obviously has team matchup.
And this looks like this looks like Vid is using HO flying.
Yeah, definitely is. Like, it's most likely Scarflati, judging by the speeds here.
I think this is a AV. Yeah.
This Gyarados is very strong right now.
It's Mega Gyarados. It's so bulky.
Yeah.
It is bad that in Sun and Moon Mega Sharpedo is so much better than Gyarados due to that speed and its ability.
Yeah. Oh, that Dragon Tail miss.
Oh.
Super unfortunate. But
it's Tank Chomp. So.
Yeah. But I think Sharpedo's coming back, or Gyarados is coming into the meta more than Sharpedo is.
That will depend on team, but most of the teams have been Mega Sharpedo.
Yeah.
Even regular Gyarados is falling out of usage on mono water teams.
Yeah. But I have seen a rise in Rotom.
Yeah, that is because of expert built Greninja.
Yeah.
And it runs a speed set to live, grass note, HP electric.
Yeah. Like, Mantine originally came into the meta to check things like, or to check Greninja. But now that it barely even checks Greninja, I don't see it being as useful as it should be.
I agree. This looks like Scarf.
If it's Scarf, does this just
Yeah. Why did he default there with Latios?
Yeah, he probably should have attacked.
Yeah, he forfeited.
Good job. Yeah.
He should have attacked if it was the only Scarfer on his team. I don't know why he did not attack.
Yeah.
So this was a quick game we got on the video.
Yeah.
Vid versus Star Master.
Yeah, I think we're up 3-1 now, which is very nice. So,
yeah.
We need one more win to tie and 2 more to win.
3-2-1, yeah. So where were we? We were talking about Haunch Groves. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that actually was the Haunch Groves just playing. It was my team, the Cherubis versus the Haunch Groves. Even with the matchup we had, or they had, Vid still came out on top.
That's the beauty of Monotype. Like, even though it's technically a bad matchup on paper, you can still win if you play properly.
Yeah.
Like if you saw the game, Cindy just used hyper offense flying versus electric, and he still won.
I think that was for seasonal.
Yeah, that was for seasonal, but still it was a game.
Yeah.
I like using offensive teams so much.
I think offensive teams are better in this setup. It's very tough to use something like normals started off good and now it's kind of bad because people are saying that there are more sweepers, more setup sweepers, more wall breakers. Even though normal is still good versus anything that doesn't have that kind of ability.
But metagame has so well adapted to it that The whole normal, balanced normal type teams are so predictable now, and almost every team prepares for it in certain way.
I think that teams prepare for it by, but like they don't directly prepare for it. Like there are certain types that you prepare for that also beat normal. You know.
Hmm. For example, water using Keldeo, which also beats steel and normal, like that.
And dark.
Yeah,
And
of
dark.
course.
Yeah.
And then you can also
And
count
so
in ice and rock.
exactly.
Even without a wall breaker, normal still has troubles versus hazards actually.
Yeah. It's
Because Staraptor
the
is a shaky defog user, if you ask me.
yeah. The defensive core of Chansey Porygon to Star Raptor is like a must on balanced normal,
Hmm.
which is probably the better normal instead of the HO one. But and so like when you have Staraptor as like your only form of hazard control outside of like Scarf Ditto Defog, I guess. And even that's not reliable
Yeah.
as a Staraptor. Um, it's one of those like if you can pressure with hazards and then you can like punish the Staraptor on a switch in, you're in a good position. You know.
Even Poison can do that very easily. I have played games where you set up toxic spikes with Toxapex, and you predict the Staraptor switch into defog, and you go into your special attacker Nihilego or Nidoking.
Okay. Yeah.
You simply
Or
attack.
you can even,
Yeah.
or you can even go into like Crobat there, and
Yeah,
if
taunt.
you're taunt.
Yeah, so sure. So let's not deviate now. I know I started it, but let's try, because
Yeah.
Monotype is so deep in terms of topics that we can easily venture out on different issues.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Sunny Shore circuits. They have Ian's godly support of team building and his knowledge. It is godly. He has been playing Monotype and he's ranked number 1.
Yeah.
So
I think what puts Ian ahead over like everyone is Ian thinks of things no one else would think of.
I agree.
And like there are some stuff like Ian thinks of that other people start to use, but like I played a few friendlies against him, and I think he brought up like ADV mono, and I'm like, you have teams for ADV mono. That's kind of insane. Like, so I think he has like untitled 5,000 something in his team builder right now. So he's he's a very good team builder.
Yeah.
Like probably, if not the best team builder in this tournament.
I was lucky to have him as my manager in my first NPL, and I saw how much knowledge he has currently. And I actually learned a lot in my first NPL, and I'm quite lucky that it was Ian who was my manager. So I
Yeah.
had immense support from him in terms of building. I had ton of ideas back then for teams, and he helped me refine them. So
That's good. Yeah, I always wanted a team with Ian. I think he's like, again, like he has good knowledge on it. You think of things I wouldn't. I've been seeing someone like that.
So the question now here is, will Ian be able to carry Sunny Shore circuits? They also have Havens, who did well with Ian's support in Smoke on Exhibition. Will the magic repeat here again? And there's also Decent.
Well, Havens lost earlier today.
Yeah, and DSM too lost it. DSM
Wait,
also
who did-
lost
Oh
against
yeah,
MJ.
yeah. So yeah, like I think Ian's passing good teams. I just think that it's comes down to the players. You know? Like if you can't play, like if you can't play with Ian's team, it's gonna be tough for you to win. Even though like Siri had matchup versus Havens, it's like Havens also made a few plays that I didn't agree with. Like he let the Clefable get back to full HP, which probably affected the match a little bit.
I saw that match late game while it was late game, so I'll have to go back. I'll go back again at it.
Yeah.
But it was fairy versus water, correct?
Yeah. And there was no Klefki on the fairy team, which kind of surprised me.
I think that was that maybe Leiru's team. He likes to run no Klefki fairy.
I think a few of us were talking. Said it was either a team or a team.
It was, I think, Leiru's team. Ian plus Leiru, they both are very good friends. So if Ian as a manager and a player in Sunny Shore Circuits, then I believe Leiru will be helping them as well.
Yeah.
So currently they are behind with Meteor Fall Meteors in the lead, but they still have games to play, so this can change. What is next? Cinnabar Charizards. You'll have to talk about this.
Okay, so this is your team.
Yeah.
So your team, I think we kind of touched on it. Either on camera or off camera. I forget which one.
We did it on camera.
Yeah. You guys have a solid team. I just, like you said it perfectly. Like you guys just need to be more aggressive earlier in the draft. Use that, like just another big name. Like team building that can help. Get you that can basically be like a free win for you every week. I feel like having that on your team, not just being so reliant on Harp for team building. I feel like that would help you guys a lot. I saw the Dab versus Harp game versus you, obviously. I think there was definitely matchup on his end. Like he had Bishop and Scizor versus non-Mega. It's like which is obviously very tough, and it came down to a few 50-50s at the end, and I feel like you couldn't really play that any better. I mean, obviously outside of like the 50 you lost, but again, it's a 50. There's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah, the only concern I have it here is that I got the game very close, even though it was a very bad matchup for me. It got very close to 50-50s, but I didn't realize I could have stalled his Sucker Punch, but he did not reveal Sucker Punch. So after he broke my substitute with knockoff last turn, I was wondering whether he even has Sucker Punch. But at that point, I was like, it is over and I forfeited. Later, people messaged me on PS saying, why did you not use substitute again? But again, it was 50-50, which was more in his favor if you see it.
Yeah. For him, I definitely would have knocked that first turn because if obviously you reveal a substitute, you're gonna click that, you lose nothing clicking that.
Yeah.
And then the next one after that is kind of tough. But yeah, again, it's not an easy matchup.
I don't have any regrets about this game. The only issue is I wanted to see what would have happened if I clicked substitute, but after him knocking off the first substitute which I used versus Bisharp, I was like, it is over and forfeited. I should have stayed on and kept thinking, so probably I should have done something there. But it's okay. I did whatever I could, in my opinion, to bring that game
I don't like how his win post, he said 32/3, which was like the whole ranking thing.
Mm-hmm.
When he had extreme matchup and almost lost, like that's like me getting like fire and you getting grass, saying like, oh, I'm better than you, even though clearly the better player.
I get you. Even though the grass player got you to your last one and it came down to 50-50.
Yeah.
So it's like that. He's kind of cocky. I'll tell you why. Because I said GG in the chat. If you saw.
I did, yeah.
Later he personally messaged me saying GG. He also said GG in the chat again to me in the battle chat, and later he privately messaged me saying GG. I was like, GG again if you like to hear it again. And then he made that 32 being greater than 3 post.
Yeah, which, like, I'm gonna say something going towards like the community that's like trying to still get into Monotype, trying to make a name for yourself. Your rep is very important, especially in the Monotype community. It's very easy for your rep to be ruined. It's very easy for you to be classified as a bad player just because of like a few plays you make or the things that you say. And so I feel like after what Dab said with the 32/3 thing, like obviously, like there's something like he said that, and he obviously like can't say that because he won, but that still doesn't mean he's the better player, and that doesn't make me like Dabs anymore because he's not being humble about it.
That's something you said is 100% right. I'll come back to Dabs on it someday. You'll see it. I won't forget it.
Yeah. I hope like the next time like you play him in a seasonals or something, beat him like 12-0.
I'll come back to him. He's on my to-do
he's
list.
On the list.
Yeah,
he's on the list. Alright, let's
move on to Little Root Lotats.
Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, that's fine. I was gonna finish up a little more with your team.
Yeah, sure. Do that.
Okay. I think so. For the rest of your team, I'm gonna try and make this as brief as I can. Video. Vadoon, he's a great player. He's a very creative team builder.
Yeah. I've seen his Yan Mega flying and no hazard control ice recently.
Yeah, like that was kind of like a thing for like a week or two. Like Chaitanya was using it, Vadoon was using it. I think somebody else was using it, but yeah, I see why he uses it. And, like I think it's a good idea personally. Let's see. Who else with your team? Alpha Rabbit, I don't know him too well. I think you know him better because I think you guys run a side server league with each other.
Yeah, you're right.
I couldn't tell you anything about how he plays because I don't think I've ever played him.
He is a good player, though he has not been active due to his studies, but he came back very recently and he played a few test games with me and he did well there. So I think he'll be good.
Okay. And he's playing against Metario this week, or did, I don't know if he has
He did already. The matchup was Mega Steelix and Excadrill against Fairy.
Oh.
Yeah, he lost that one.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense. Okay. Malik, again, I think he's a top 3 most underrated Monotype in this tournament. I think he's gonna have a very good MPO. He's very creative with a team builder. He knows what he's doing. He has knowledge of the meta, and I think he had a very good French tutor and stuff like that. Yeah.
I know he's coming up. I hope he has a good MPL run because he's on my team.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Um, who else? Who else? Isaiah.
Isaiah.
Isaiah. He won this week, right?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. Isaiah. He's a very good player as well. Has very good knowledge of formats.
Mm.
I think he's going to be a key part to your guys' success. Um, I think more with him, he's a pretty good tour player. Um, I feel like, to be honest, I don't feel like he was worth the 20K. I feel like maybe if you took him out, maybe it gives you 20K extra K to maybe get that more aggressive pick that you could have got. And I feel like Maroon's grabbing the Monotype isn't the best.
I agree.
So I think that'll be interesting to say the least.
Yeah.
Decay versus North. Again, North is a very good black-white player. Unfortunately,
North.
he got matchup, right?
Yeah.
He got matchup this week, right?
I think it was Steel versus Steel.
I thought it was Steel versus Fighting or something like that. Let me check. I think I have it right here.
DK.
Okay, yeah. Steel versus Fighting, yeah. He got matchup this week, which was unfortunate. But yeah, North is still a very good Monotype player. He got a matchup this week. There's nothing you can do about that. He's gonna have. I feel like he's gonna have a pretty good rest of the tour. And then Trich is very good. Again, another very underrated player. He took a little break for a little bit, but he's coming back. And I think he's still a very strong player. I think people need to pay more attention to it.
He won his first week match.
Yeah, he beat a good FLCL tour player.
He played game 1 so well versus FLCL's Flying, even though he had a glitch score.
Yeah, I saw that. It was very good. Yeah. So I think that's about it with your team. You can move on.
Little Rude Lotas. And what is the matchup they have? So currently Gengars are at lead against Lotats, with only Ridley being the only win against. So Ridley being the only win for Lotats.
Yeah.
In my personal opinion, they don't have a jaw-dropping lineup kind of team.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Just 1 second, I'll be back.
Okay.
बोलो मैंने बोला ना मैं फेंकूंगा मम्मी
नीचे स्पाइक कर दे काका नीचे से
Hello.
Yeah, I'm back. So I was saying, to be honest, Little Rude Lotats don't have a very surprising team lineup. They have certain very good players like Ridley, Zukushiku, Shiba, but overall it's like okay-ish.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think their big issue is their Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
Like I teamed with Ridley in Monotype World. He was, like he mentioned the biggest part that was lacking in that team's core was the Ultra Sun and Moon part of it. And I think we have the same thing right here again. So I'm kind of surprised that Ridley has the same issue 2 tours in a row.
They'll have to
like
provide a lot of team support for SM. You're right.
Yeah, and I think their games are gonna have to work extra hard in the SM team builder to, get those matchups correct. And I hope their activity is good because I know they have tour players like Charm, Flash, Shiba, Insults, and so I don't know
Oh, Shri.
how their activity is going to be.
Yeah. Let's move on to Two Island Tapus. They have sort
Okay.
of an interesting team.
The interesting thing about the Two Island Tapus is that both managers didn't buy themselves.
Hmm.
I thought that was very interesting.
Lax
with-
and Vanka.
yeah, which are two very strong players. So I was very surprised to see that. And, you know, with the picks they got, you know, like I see a lot of tour players, which makes sense. But I also see, like, you know, I don't see a super strong, you know, name that just like pops out in the Monotype community. You know, like I see Meta Ryobu 7, who is like Monotype voice, or I think something like that. But you know, everyone else is just tour player, or like, you know, doesn't have the best mono, or isn't like a pop out name in Monotype, you know.
Park is ranked at 4th, so he's the only one who is in the top 10 ranking for mono
Yeah.
on their team, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But they have support of Vanka and Lax, who is very knowledgeable as well. And he provides a lot of you know, help with teams. Because he
I'm wondering
himself
how
said it.
that. Yeah, I'm wondering how that. How Lax and Wonka are doing as managers in this. No, I'm just wondering: are they active? Are they helping? Because, you know, you haven't seen a lot of Lax and Wonka in like seasonals runs lately either. So
Yeah, you're right. You're right. A lot of it depends upon the coming weeks. It's still very early, you know, to really gauge each team's capacity. Even though this is the ranking, it makes you never know which team will come in the top.
But yeah, if we're gonna go more in depth on that team,
Yeah.
Days for Dabs, you know, I don't think I really need to touch on him anymore. Trash is pretty good. You know, that doesn't, you know, it's kind of like ironic, I guess, or like, I don't know.
Oh,
something like
Thrash. I think it was
Trash,
Grass
Trash.
versus Electric. He lost against Voodoo using Grass against Electric.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Vadum is very good, though, so I'm not surprised.
His team was
Material
kind of weird, if you
player.
ask me. That Grass team.
Yeah, it was a little weird. I agree.
It was Scar Celebi with Trick, and I think Tapu Bulu had Toxic. If you skip, we can see.
Yeah.
Toxic Tapu Bulu.
Yeah. It's cool, but weird. Yeah.
Weird.
Pack. Pack doesn't build, but he's a pretty good SM player. I think he's more motivated to do well. Say is always a pretty good ORAS pick. He had a good World Cup. I'm excited to see him do well. Cell. He went pretty early in the draft.
Yeah.
Even though I haven't seen him play that much. You know. Like,
He went around 8K or something.
yeah, I personally felt that might have been a little too much, but I definitely think he can perform. Yeah. I'm really curious on how the Maroon Cell game is. Isn't that supposed to happen like right now?
Soon.
Yeah, it looks like it's trying to get in the works right now, so that's cool.
6.
So that'll be interesting.
So Nilak versus Park and Cell versus Maroon.
Wait, Nailik Pack is happening?
No, I'm talking about the games that are left. just to
Oh,
keep safe.
oh, okay. I know Ian versus Sky Solo is happening right now.
It's happening right now.
Yeah. It's about over though.
Let's-
Although Suicune can probably win.
Yeah, it's a burn Pharaoh in the back.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's also Facade Scissors.
Massage.
It can be nice. Also, it looks like offensive Jirachi. So that'll
I
help.
think it's Z happy hour Jirachi. But if he can
Yeah.
get a substitute, then he can stall some turns out and
And get
Skull.
some more calm minds
Yeah.
up. The Jirachi shouldn't do too much. Oh, she probably should have roosted there. Because now this is over. Yeah.
Or he should have just used Fasast. So that he
Yeah.
gets in some more chip for Jirachi.
Yeah. But, yeah, it could be tough. Either way, yeah. Facade or
Roost, yeah.
probably fun.
Should have calculated how much +1 Skull does to Scissor and played upon him.
Yeah.
So it's the happy hour.
And he gets up another calm
Yeah.
mind, another princess. Yeah.
So now it's full
See, I
head
don't
Suicune
think-
versus a Jirachi.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right on facading just to chip the Suicune.
Yeah.
Although 27, that's kind of hilarious. Like, I think no matter if you get the facade damage off on the Suicune, I think the Suicune is just going to sit in front of this Jirachi.
But he still
But
had
if-
more chances if he went for Fasage.
Facade, yeah. I also think
Yeah.
But as we're watching this game, I'm going to continue to touch on Decay and the rest of Two Island Toppers. Decay is a very good black-white player. Knows what he's doing. Has pretty good knowledge. But, and again, had a good matchup week 1, so I think that's definitely a confidence booster for him.
Yes, winning early first week is for sure a boost in confidence for players.
Yeah.
Because they're like, they won. Now we can do better
Yeah.
in coming weeks. That's
Yeah.
confidence.
Yeah. Confidence is a big thing in this game as well. If you're not confident in your plays, it's going to be tough.
I'm certainly excited for this whole MPL5 thing because
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Generation 8 is coming up, and you know how there's no national desk, and a lot of Pokemon won't be usable in competitive scene,
Yeah.
I believe. So
Yeah. I don't think, from what I've seen, I think the Dynamax thing is just a buff in HP.
50% buff
for
in
sure.
HP.
Yeah, I think that's all it is. So, if
But
that's
they
all
also
it is-
get Dynamaxed, max power moves. Max power moves.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's basically like a Z move as well.
Yeah. So I actually read somewhere that Dynamax is basically a mechanic for Z moves and Mega altogether. They have a separate mechanic for Mega. If you go by the leaks, it's called Gigantamax, where some Pokemon change forms.
Huh.
Yeah. So
I haven't been keeping too much up to date with it, but like when it comes out, I'm going to keep building kind of thing and just
this
doing
match can
everything
get
like
very
that.
stally because they have a Toxapex in the back, and now this
Yeah.
Suicune is parad by Jirachi.
Yeah.
We'll just continue.
Mhm.
So we went over to Island Taboos. Now it's turn for Cherry Grove Cherubies. This is a team that has a lot of potential because of Wincon Zugubu Royale. Then there's also you, who is very motivated, as you told me, and I can figure out the way you talk about Monotype. You're very motivated, so this team can carry itself. I believe it should have been ranked a
Yeah.
little higher.
Yeah, I see why. Like, we don't seem as strong, but I very optimistic, and I think
Hmm.
that we can definitely pull some wins out versus some teams. Like we're 3-1 versus Hunch Groves right now,
Yeah,
so I think a lot of these games can go either way.
you have a good team. Good team can certainly carry it to playoffs. It's just Wincon will have to provide SM support. There's also Zukubu Royal, but it depends on how much motivated and active he is. And
Mm-hmm.
Wade is very good for aura support. Then you have Jeff for black and white. Cam gets
Yeah.
support from Wincon, Wade, and Jeff, so that's really good. But Cam lost against Sabela.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see the matchups there.
The thing with the Cam Sabella series wasn't the best, but it came down to a double protect at the end. Um,
Surprising he used poison, Aura's poison.
yeah, that also surprised most people.
Because poison was not that great in Aura's.
Yeah, I think it was definitely like Cam didn't really say a lot about it in Chetty, but she was kind of surprised to come about it.
I told you this will be a story match. See, the Suicune has died and there's only a Toxapex left.
Yeah,
But Ian is on the back foot here.
yeah. Once the
Yeah,
Toxapex gets leech seeded, I think it's all.
yeah. Once he gets its lead seated. Yeah, done. So this was kind of surprising. Sky Solo winning against him.
Yeah, I don't think anybody really expected it. Especially with the matchup that Ian had versus Sky Solo. I'm surprised.
Upset.
Yep, definitely. There's been a lot of upsets this week, but
Mhm.
I think that's good. I think that puts people, that lets people know, like, okay, this is what we need to be. We kind of need to focus.
I agree.
Yeah.
So what's the last team we have? Meteor Fall Minions. Yes.
Yeah.
This team basically supports. This team basically suffers from the issue of not having a well-known player for SM. They have
Yeah.
Palio, but Palio is a good player, no doubt. But as everyone knows, he has not been too much active for SM. He's a great player for Auras, where he is rightfully playing. But he lost against Eternally.
Okay.
Week one. Week one.
Yeah.
Let's check out that game.
Well, Miniors look. Wait, I'm sorry. Did you say there's a game happening right now?
No, I was just talking about the game which Palio and Eternally played, and Palio lost. The matchup was
yeah.
Palio Dragon versus Eternally Water.
Oh, okay. That's kind of interesting.
I'll quickly go over this.
Yeah.
He has a Sharpedo and Azumarill along with Starmie, so I can see how he won.
Yeah. Also, Harp, can you check Discord real quick?
Yeah. Okay. So we have almost completed the power rankings here for teams. So we are almost done with this video. Let's just talk a little more about Meteor for Meteors.
Okay. I'm very surprised with their SM this week. You know.
Why?
I'm surprised with their Sun and Moon this week. You know, they just got their third Sun and Moon, which is really.
Oh yeah.
You know, we thought this team, their weakest point is their SM, and if they're gonna be pre-win versus teams that have a strong SM, who knows how far this team might go.
Yes. Since they have 3 wins under SM against a team that has a very solid SM support, so it's hard to call them, bad.
Yeah.
Attribute is also someone who plays a lot of SM and team builds. So I can see how
like,
they are managing.
Yeah, Attribute's a strong team builder too. So
Aima also builds a lot of teams, but he has not been too active recently for Monotype. But I think he can provide enough support.
Yeah. Again, the big question is the activity.
It's with a lot of teams, to be honest.
Yeah.
Apart from Goldenrod Gengars, I think every team has some sort of activity issue.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with that. Let me just double check with. I don't know how Evi and Curry Tenshi are in terms of activity, but I think they're definitely one of the most active teams.
Which one?
Gengars.
Yeah, Gengars. Dynamic duo, Chaitanya and Vosat. That is why. So we'll just wrap it here since you have to go. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry I had to cut it short.
No problem. We still have a pretty good video on record, I believe. And thank you very much for joining me here today again on the discussion video. I really enjoyed it, and it felt like a very cool and thoughtful discussion with you. We also went on some topics.
Yeah, I definitely think pretty good video. Yeah. We did get a little sidetracked, but I think that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. It was related to Monotype, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for joining me. In coming weeks, if you get time, and as the weeks goes on, we'll get to see how each team performs, so we can probably do one more video about them. Okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Good.
Thank you for joining me, and this is Harp signing off. Bye bye.